Well, the pick is in, and the Chicago Bulls select Noah Essengue in the first round of the NBA draft in day one. Y'all know we gonna talk about it. Is he the perfect fit next to Matas Buzelis? Then my man's Mark Eversley kind of gives a glimpse of what to expect later today on day two of the NBA draft, along with some notes heading into the summer. Y'all know we gonna talk about it and break it all down, but you gotta hear the music first.
Cognac, gang.
Shy Bulls podcast with the Cognac Boys. I'm Cognac Boy Bobby, and I'm holding it down on another episode of Shy Bulls podcast. So if you tuned in with me today, make sure you hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. We had day one of the NBA draft be placed in the books. We've seen a number of trades from other teams, but the Chicago Bulls, they stand pat in that 12 select Noa Essengue out of France, who was just recently playing in Germany. Hey, let me know how y'all feeling. The Chicago Bulls had a number of players available to them at number 12, to where we seen Ensenau, Derek Queen, Thomas Sorba, a bunch of guys just be right there available for the Chicago Bulls. Type how you are feeling down below in the comment box, whether you are rocking with the pick or not. Yay or nay, and let me know why you maybe not feeling Noah Essengue, or maybe why you are on board with the selection of Noah Essengue. Type it in the comment box below. Let me know how you're feeling. But for me, I told y'all yesterday on the daily episode, I felt like the Chicago Bulls was going to go out there and select this kid. That was just my feeling. That wasn't necessarily the guy that I believed was at the top of my list. Y'all know that at the top of my list, I had a guy like Derek Queen be at the top of my list, but the Chicago Bulls, they had other plans. They have other thoughts, and I'm going to give it a B+. I'm going to give it a B+. This is a player that comes in with a lot of length at 6'10", about 200 pounds. Very solid on the defense in my personal evaluation. A lot of work that needs to be done on the offensive side, especially the transition into an NBA basketball player. Me personally, I want to see that three-point shot get better. I want to see if he can eventually hit some jump shots. I want to see if he can go out there and continue to finish in the painted area like he did in Germany. But I do know he is a lob threat that Josh Giddey could utilize. That's why I'm giving it a B+, simply because I feel like Derek Queen was the better offensive player right there for the taking and the more polished player. But I kind of understood why the Chicago Bulls went out on a limb to select a player like Noah Essengue, simply because the highest ceiling. Now, we've been here before with players in the Chicago Bulls attempting to select players with high ceilings, like a Dalen Terry. I don't necessarily know if the ceiling was that high, but he was definitely on their list as one of those players that they felt had a high ceiling. Not my evaluation, the Chicago Bulls evaluation. And also, you look at guys like Patrick Williams. You look at a guy that was selected later on in one of his drafts, in Julian Phillips, some guy maybe with a ceiling that you can go in and tap into, to where that said player can go and be better than what the initial thought was coming into the draft for a lot of the recent picks that we had on in Chicago. But I do like the fact that, hey, you get another player that can line up beside Matas. Matas can play the 3, he can play the 4, or he can play the 3. Matas can play the 4. And the good thing is that now the Chicago Bulls add size. They add more athleticism, but I'm still going to question, with the expectation of we're going to play a certain style when we're going to expect guys to hit the 3. Can these guys, or can Noah Essengue, hit the three at a consistent level that allows him to be on the court for a very long time. Now, if you can tap into that, that'll be a win for the Chicago Bulls. If he does not put the work in and you can't tap into that, you end up with another project or a prospect that does not necessarily pan out for your Chicago Bulls. But will he fit next to Matas Buzelis? I think right now, looking at your wings, it's very intriguing. The expectations for Matas Buzelis coming into this upcoming season, it looks very, very promising. You expect him to get more opportunities. You expect him to take a step forward in his development with his mentality, with his ability to hit the three-point shot, with his ability to get to the basket and the defensive presence that he has on the basketball court. You expect big things out of Matas Buzelis moving forward. As far as Noa Essengue, you look at some of the challenge he faced overseas, but then you look at his team in Germany making it to the finals with him being a big part of that finals team and contributing in a major way, just being a very, let's just say, raw prospect or a raw basketball player that is entering now the NBA. This is a guy that is another lob threat for Josh Giddey. You expect the scoring load to kind of just be distributed between Matas, Josh Giddey, Kobe White is what is, at least that's what it appears to be. And this is somebody you could probably work with. He has a lot of defensive tools that you can work with. He definitely has to do some work off on the offensive side. We'll see if he can complement Matas Buzelis well enough to where we can get a clearer view on what the future holds for the Chicago Bulls. But right now, and again, I'm saying it again, I'm giving it a B plus. Not necessarily my top guy, but still one of the very good prospects in this draft. He's 6'10", very lanky, most likely will take a year to put on some more weight, will most likely have to go through some player development, and we'll find out more about this young kid and his character moving forward. I'm just receiving everything, and now he's expected to wear the number 2. So we'll see if anybody's going to be going out there and rocking jerseys with the number 2. But hey, let me know how y'all feeling about my man's Noa Essengue. I'm giving him a B plus. Y'all let me know what y'all giving the draft selection of Noa Essengue, and if you believe he can fit well next to Matas Buzelis. And I'm also still thinking about what the hell is going on with Nikola Vucevic. Get him off my team, please. Somebody get Nikola Vucevic off my team. I'm just saying, that's just a little ramble rant. We gonna get back on the schedule program. So my man's the GM Mark Eversley, I didn't even know he still exists. I ain't even gonna lie to you. And before a couple weeks ago, when they announced that he gonna be speaking at the draft, I was like, damn, he's still a part of the team, because all we heard of was Arturas Karnisovas, and my man's Mark Eversley has been missing in action forever. I ain't even gonna lie to you, but he had a lot of things to say after they selected Noa Essengue in this draft, pretty much saying that he opened up the press conference, giving Billy Donovan praise, and pretty much saying we don't comment on contract situations. Shut your ass up. We want to hear if y'all gave Billy 3 years, 40 mil. I'm just talking, but y'all already know it. Noa Essengue, for a correction, will wear the number 24. So we gonna see how he fits in with the Chicago Bulls. But back to Mark Eversley. Mark Eversley said, we are in transition, says the team has opportunities over the next 18 months to significantly improve through the draft and free agency, says they have financial flexibility in 2026. So there's part of your answer why these guys received a damn extension, because I told y'all a few episodes ago that Jerry loved what they put together with the iteration of the Chicago Bulls when they had Lonzo, Caruso, DeMar, Zach, and Vooch, and said, hey, I understand that y'all dealt with some injuries. I understand that y'all was kind of in the financial constraint. I'm going to go ahead and y'all rinse those guys out. You still got to get rid of Vooch, and I'm going to give y'all another shot at it. That was my train of thought. And right now, Bobby seems right. That's just me. But anyway, my man's Mark Eversley went on to continue to say, we looked at several options moving up and back. We were in contact with 3 to 4 teams, but as the board moved, we felt comfortable good players will be available. That's pretty much it. And they expect my mans to go in and Noa Essengue to go out there and put in a lot of work this offseason. On and off the court is another thing that Mark Eversley said. And that's where we currently lay. That's where we currently lay. My man's, he going to go out there. He got to put in some work. I'm anxious to see how he looks in Summer League. Matas Buzelis is expected to work out with the Summer League team, but there is no expectations of him playing in Summer League. Me personally, don't let him play in Summer League. That's just my train of thought, but the boys are going to do what the boys are going to do. Me personally, I don't want my man's playing in Summer League. That's just my personal thought. He can go out there. He can work out with the young guys, but keep him off the basketball court because we want to see him play in real NBA action. That's just how I'm looking. And that's how I'm necessarily feeling about that. But hey, now we move on to later today. And we got day 2 of the NBA draft where we will be live again over here on Shy Bulls Podcast, covering it all, breaking it down. And some of the names that are still available for the Chicago Bulls to go ahead and take a look at include game names like Maxime Renard, Rasheed Fleming. You got guys like Noah Penda. You got a number of guys you might not be feeling too good about, but there are some players that are still on this board that you can probably go ahead and, take a flyer on, like Ryan Kalkbrenner. Me, I'm not necessarily sold on Kalkbrenner like that, but he is a guy that is still on the board. I'm interested to see why the hell the Chicago Bulls did not trade up for any player to go out there and get a Danny Wolf. That would have been a knockout the damn ballpark if you get a Noa Essengue and then you trade back into the first round and go and get your center of the future. But I'll keep saying it. I keep saying it and I keep believing it. And some people thought I was playing when me and C-Dub did the way too early predictions. When me and C-Dub did the way too early predictions for the starter 5 for the Chicago Bulls lineup, I said Noa Essengue and Jalen and Zach Collins as the starting members of the front court for this Chicago Bulls team. It was funny, but I believed it. And this is looking like what we're trending to, unless the Chicago Bulls do something that's different. But what else is there to do? It's not many options right here. I'm trying to see where we can look at some of the guys that they potentially worked out, that they potentially looked at. But some of these guys are not even on the board anymore. So, yeah, it's going to be some tough things that we got to figure out. I know I seen people that was on John Tonje out of Wisconsin. I seen his name being thrown around that some guys that some people liked out there. Again, Maxime Renard, Ryan Kalkbrenner. How the Chicago Bulls feeling about them is we're going to be waiting to see. And Mark Eversley pretty much said that the second round pick may be a stash, a pick and stash player, whatever the hell he said. Some crazy stuff, but doesn't look like the Chicago Bulls are willing to make a lot of moves with that second round pick. And they don't have high expectations that they'll be doing anything with that. So, yeah, they said it's pretty much going to be a draft and stash player, with Javon Carter picking up the player option and all signs pointing to Josh Giddey re-signing. So, we'll see. We'll see. Maybe it might be some type of entertaining thing that happens with the Chicago Bulls in the second round. Maybe not. But I know that a lot of the guys that they initially liked or worked out in this year's draft, they are now off the board. Danny Wolf is gone. Drake Powell is gone. Ensenau is gone. They had conversations with my guy, Tyman Sorber. So, yeah, this is where we are. I give the first round selection a B+. It's not one of the best things, But y'all let me know how y'all feeling. I know there's some people that is not really feeling it because they was very, very high on Derek Queen. But I like the thought of having a guy that can be a little bit more athletic on the Chicago Bulls as well with Noa Essengue. I don't necessarily think it's a bad move. I think that you could still utilize him and work out with him and utilize his skill set, especially with the defensive things that he will add to the team. We'll see what he does offensively for the Chicago Bulls. He looked like he has gotten a little bit better, at least playing overseas in Germany, but that is the German league. You're now coming into the NBA, so we'll see what the adjustment looks like. And yeah, we keep pushing to see how the hell we get out of mediocrity, because the Atlanta Hawks, they made a lot of good moves. And the Washington Wizards, they made some moves. The teams that we've been above in the play-in for the last few years, yeah, they look like they about to be play-in contenders with us. So it's just gonna get that much harder. And the Bulls, the way they talking, they looking to 2026. But if you're looking at 2026, why not move now? Just saying, why not move off said players now? I'm just saying, all this 2026 talk. You had AK at the end of the press conference talk about 2026. You got Mark Eversley after the first round talking about 2026. If your goal and your mindset is on 2026, shouldn't you be trying to move off players so you can better position yourself for 2026? That's just me, but this is where we are. Noa Essengue is now a Chicago Bull getting ready to play and wear the number 24. And I'm excited to see what this young kid can do for the Chicago Bulls. But hey, that is it for me today, y'all. I appreciate y'all for tuning in into another episode. Go ahead and leave your feedback, comments, concerns down in the comment box. Let us know how y'all feeling, simply because, hey, we got a long way to go for the Chicago Bulls to be what we expect them to be, whether that's 2 years, 3 years. But hey, we just hope that we can see steps forward in the right direction with these guys that we already have on the team, because we got a lot of young talent. But hey, I appreciate y'all. Make sure y'all always see red, and y'all already know. I'm going to catch y'all on the next one for sure. Peace out, y'all.
Cognac.